Welcome to the Wasteland News Network. Today is March 23rd, 2021, and the Fallout 76 development team spent this morning on Reddit in an AMA, an Ask Me Anything forum. So here are some of the highlights and answers from the dev team. And the first question answered was in regards to expeditions. They still have big plans for expeditions and are as bummed as we are about them slipping out of this year's roadmap, meaning last year's roadmap. We're still iterating on the design for expeditions, so we will share more details as we get closer to releasing them. The big takeaway is, yes, they will take you outside of the current map, and they are their own new feature, and they're very excited to make them. And more information on what's going to change in private servers in regards to possibly mod support. We will have a lot more to talk about with this update in the near future, as this will be a huge added benefit to our Fallout First members. To give a hint, think server settings. And another response from him also, and this is just the beginning. We plan on continuing to build on this feature far into the future. So we don't know if it's mod support. We don't know if it's maybe, I don't know, allowing us to have more than 8 members in a server. There's another quote coming up right after this one. And another question on PvP focus possibly in private worlds. And they said, yes, great question. I believe the upcoming update to worlds in the third quarter will give players the functionality that we've been asking for, as it will allow players to add some PvP elements along with hardcore survival elements to their private worlds as well. And that's from Jeff Gardner. That's actually really exciting. That'll be something really new and different for private worlds. Our new allies being worked on. We're working on new allies. No set estimated time of arrival yet, but they're coming. The big announcement yesterday during the Inside the Vault was that we would get legendary crafting. And a lot of questions regarding that. The response was, legendary crafting will share some similarities to the current module system and will open it up to all weapons and armor, including power armor. We will be introducing new types of components that feed into the recipes. You will be able to roll 1, 2, or 3-star items on the item type you've selected. You can even re-roll a legendary item. Now, whether or not once we create and roll these, whether we'll be able to drop them to friends or whether they'll be bonded to our character, we have no idea yet. But this will solve some of the issues we've all had on our particular builds and wanting that perfect weapon or piece of armor. And will we get a return of Mischief Night? That was our Halloween event. The team is rethinking how we're approaching Halloween events, as we know how exciting they are to fans and in service to the Fallout lore. Unfortunately, Mischief Night caused many server issues, and we're looking to replace it with a new event, which we're aiming to have out this Halloween. Yay! And hopefully they'll bring back some of those outfits and pumpkins and things that a lot of people missed because the event was not this past year. And will Vault 63 finally open? Yes, we are debuting Vault 63 in our next Daily Ops expansion with Update 26. In addition, we will be featuring that location as part of Steel Rain, that's the Brotherhood of Steel DLC, and that will release in Update 28. While we are on the topic of vaults, we're also planning to add Vault 93 to Daily Ops rotation further down the road. And a question on the upcoming pets. We have some fun things in the works for pets. Over time, we want to provide a variety of different types of pets that you can customize and have both in your camps and shelters. Initially, we will offer up different dogs and then expand to cats and then go further from there. Suggestions for other types of pets are welcome. So if you're looking for something beyond that, then definitely let them know in the forums. Shared stash and Scrapbox between characters. I would so love to have this. I started playing Borderlands, and it was so nice to have one account with multiple characters, and you have a bank that all your characters can access. It's a great idea. Like many things, shared stash space is on their to-do list. It's just a matter of finding the time to get it done. So I doubt we're going to see that in 2021 at all. However, anytime that they can implement that would be fantastic. In regards to Tales from the Stars and Invaders from Beyond. We all want to know about the Zaytons. We've been talking internally about doing something fun with the Zaytons since before the game launched, so we're excited to finally have the chance to do something with them. We're working on a new feature we call Public Challenges that will be similar to seasonal events, but will be global to the world and encourage players to work together to succeed. We will showcase the Zaytons in our first one and plan on more in the future. And plan to add more in the future. And many of you that missed completing a season on a scoreboard or want a specific item, they want to know if it's possible to purchase these at a later date. Some of the items from every season end up in the gold bullion shop in the game. Some of them will be for sale at a later date as well. And to add to that, starting in Update 28, we will have a new gold bullion vendor from the Blue Ridge Caravan that will appear on various days in one of the faction hubs. She will offer up great deals on gold bullion plans, hopefully that means sale, and maybe even some unique offerings from time to time. That sounds cool. And many of you camp builders out there, vertical half walls. Maybe? Yes, this is on our radar, but it is further out. This also includes more half-floor variants and half-horizontal wall variants. And those are for your camp builders out there that can get, and I can get very frustrated with that exact problem, especially the floors. So they definitely have that scheduled for the future. And more information on the Legendary Crafting update. They're planning to add new mods and make balancing improvements to some of the weaker, less used mods. Also expect even more new mods with the release of 4-star legendaries, and that's way out in Update 32. I think we're headed into Update 25 or 26 at the end of April, so that's going to be quite further along in 2021. And in response to opening up some of the boarded up buildings for future content, we're always looking for opportunities to add more life into the game, and one of the best ways is to find locations in the world that don't have a whole lot going on and opening them up. So that's great. I always like new exploration areas. And when they announced that seasons would have unlimited ranks, everybody wanted to know what that meant. So it is a non-randomized repeating track of things like lunchboxes, script, and gold bullion. So when you finish the entire scoreboard and then you still continue to get XP, now we'll be able to get lunchboxes, script, and gold bullion when we finish that season, and then before that one shuts down and the new season begins. So that's great news that it's not a waste of time. You're actually getting some kind of reward. And in response to some of the events that we currently have in the game, a lot of us really love Radiation Rumble because of the amount of XP you get, and it's a lot of fun. Hey, I like your taste. I agree. Radiation Rumble is one of my favorites as well. As far as ones I dislike, I think all of our events are fun, but they may not provide the right incentive for participation. I guess he means things like Dogwood Die-Off and the Messenger. So in Update 32, we're going to take on a balancing pass, mostly focused on rewards to try and get better participation in some of these less popular events. So hopefully that means we can get access to some of these very rare plans for those of us that are completists, things that are related to like the walking cane and the sledgehammers and things like that. We farm these tiny events in hopes of getting some of these rare plans. And will they be increasing the capacity of private worlds? They're actively investigating it, but it's not currently on the roadmap. I kind of suspected that maybe they would increase that if they're going to change private worlds, but now that the fact that they're going to have some element of PvP and some kind of hardcore survival and mods, hopefully, and all of that, so it's still going to be just 8 people per private world. And will Steel Rain and other updates on the roadmap introduce any new public events? Good question. Yes, we have another public event in the works that is Brotherhood of Steel themed. I don't have a specific release time frame just yet, but we aim to have it out before the end of the year. So a new Brotherhood of Steel event. Cool. And a question in regards to double-sided walls for camps. Exterior wall customization is still on our to-do list for sure. Sadly, it is still a ways out. Not good news for those camp builders. And a question about extra slots for both camp slots and perk loadouts. One of each at launch. We will be expanding this in future updates. So there, hopefully that will expand to, like we can see in the little widget for camp slots, there's room for 3. So hopefully we'll get those either as Fallout First or like they mentioned in a future update. And the final comment, why are there 5 stars and only 4-star weapons? Rats, you foiled our plan with a little wink there. Yes, we will more than likely eventually at some point in time get 5-star weapons and other things. I think what was sadly lacking in answering questions were questions related to nuclear winter, whether it's going to be updated or scrapped or just kept the way it is. It still says it's in beta all the time. I know a lot of people play nuclear winter. So that would be the only thing really sadly lacking in all of this information. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you out in the wasteland.